Absolutely. So, Mark in the earlier segment kind of led in. I didn't pay him for this, but the the ubiquitous challenges with any major change in the federal government are people, processes, and culture.
Sure.
And so we talked about how we're trying at the Department of Homeland Security to really focus on some of those transformations that have to be put in place to support and enable the technical practices of DevOps. And Mark alluded to the fact that if you look at the things before and after, the quote-unquote DevOps, those are things that really need to focus to extract maximum value. So that is one of the major challenges, and that it's not a technical problem, right? And it has a lot of stakeholders and a lot of moving parts, so it's quite hard. But I think the other thing you see is that there's no one-size-fits-all approach necessarily for these programs that we have across the department. And how do we actually pull together, standardize as much as possible to provide guidance and best practice principles, but also enable these programs to find what works for them and to really deliver on their terms. And of course, DevOps, as we all know, people like to think of it as one big, process, but it's a lot of little processes in many cases tied together. And there's different tools and emerging tools, and as Stu alluded to earlier, those are changing constantly. So how do we, again, get people to where they need to be, given that this whole ecosystem is emerging and also changing? That is a major challenge for us. And at the department level, we're trying to help folks kind of wrestle with that problem.
You're helping